Aquaman. How does it feel to be? How does it feel to be working on Aquaman?
Well, I worked on him a year ago, and now it's coming out, so it felt fine. How's that go? As I recall, it felt good.
How challenging is it to sort of make the character cool in the sense of he's got the rep?
He's always been cool.
I know.
Aquaman's always been. Well, the thing is, people ridicule him solely based on Super Friends, and on Super Friends, none of those heroes got a backstory or got any kind of attention to character. They were just their powers, and it was a kid's show. I mean, a young kid's show. So, he kind of got singled out for being lame, but it's called Super Friends. It was all lame, but we loved it. It was all we had. So I think what we've been trying to do at DC Animation throughout the years is bring Aquaman back by giving him, spotlight roles in our other series and featured roles. Like, we had him on Superman, the animated series first. Then we brought him into Justice League as a guest star occasionally. In Brave and the Bold, we used him every chance we got because he was just a great breakout character. But we never wanted to make fun of him. We just wanted to make him a dude. Like, this is a guy who has all these powers that some people think are weird, but he likes himself. And that's the thing I think about Aquaman is he's not one of those guys that's all navel-gazing and tortured. He likes being Aquaman. He likes his responsibility. He likes being king of the sea. At least that's our take on it, because DC's take on him changes a lot. So, and with this one, we want to expose him even more. And then hopefully, if he's in the feature-length movie, the Zack Snyder thing, hopefully it goes through the roof. And hopefully he gets his own series and a solo movie, and we'll be sick of him. No. Yeah.
Would you say that we'll be seeing more of him, or is this just like the beginning of something greater?
Well, he will probably show up in another Justice League movie that we're doing.
Is that a spoiler?
Not really. He's in the Justice League. Where a lot of people will be showing up. No, but, chances are high that he will show up again. And like I said, depending upon how this sells, maybe we'll do a solo. Or, there's a lot of plans in the works for other alternatives to getting our heroes out there. So, hopefully, yeah.
Are you enjoying this notion of using the Justice League as a pilot, so to speak, for these other characters? Or is it a way of focusing on these other characters in Justice League?
Because, I worked with Bruce Timm on the Justice League series for 5 years, and we did pretty much, in my thinking, we did the best Justice League we really could. And so just to do just another Justice League series that didn't accomplish anything further, to me, it didn't interest me. But, the reality is, no one's going to pay us to do a solo Aquaman movie yet. If he pops big in the movie, then maybe in the feature film, then maybe we will. But right now, to get all these side characters that I love, I basically chose the tactic I did with Brave and the Bold, because Brave and the Bold originally was only supposed to be Batman and about 5 other characters rotating constantly. And I was like, hell no. I want Wanna Beast, I want Detective Chimp, I went down the line and named out who I wanted. So that's what I hope to do with this line. Granted, it's one Justice League movie a year, so I'm not going to be able to cover a lot of ground in a quick amount of time. But yeah, the next movie will have characters in it that you haven't seen on DVDs yet. So.
Can you talk about what's happening with the DC Nation shorts? Because I know for a while that was an avenue for some of the lesser explored characters.
I don't know. I didn't work on it, so I don't know. I will say that the idea hasn't been discarded. It just may not be on network television.
So. Well, it's also not showing up on the DVDs anymore.
Oh, you mean, no, you're talking about the showcase shorts, not the DC Nation shorts.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah. There's plans. Can't talk. Can't talk.
So it's the same answer.
I would get a knife in my head from Gary, wherever he's at.
He's not here.
You can
hear
tell
it
us.
all.
We won't tell anybody. Except
Yeah, right.
I have video editing software for that
Okay,
reason.
Yeah. I can't talk about that. I will be back to talk about that if indeed there's something to talk about.
Were you surprised at how fans reacted to the teaser at the end of Justice League War and how they reacted to the trailer?
How do they react? I don't know.
Yeah, it's all over there. Everybody's
Okay,
excited.
I hope they're excited. I don't know.
Really.
We'll see. I mean, yeah, I'm glad. I hope they like it. I hope I want people who really like Aquaman to at least feel validated. Like, okay, this is at least a respectful version of Aquaman. You know, that's really. I mean, everyone's seen the Justice League movie. There's about 5 good Justice League stories, to be honest, and everything else it's a lot of work. But so you know, if he comes away being a character that people could go, oh, I didn't know that about him, or oh, I always knew he was cool, and now I see why. Then I'm happy. Then it'll be a success. And if it sells, it has to sell. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
What I've seemed to notice about Aquaman lately is that a lot of what's happening, and it's for me, it's a good reason. You kind of like embracing the jokes and the snark.
Yeah. Right.
And in the trailer, we see like a hint of that. Is that pretty much like the notion is now like help turn things around and how the rest of the people may view him, those that don't think he's that cool guy?
Well, I think because in our story, you see him become Aquaman. It's not like in the comic, he's already Aquaman, and they're already talking about, they're playing off who he is as Aquaman, as you mentioned. For us, because, you know, a lot of people don't know anything about Aquaman if they're not comic book fans. So he's like, we need to let them know how he came to be. So we had to adjust that part of the story. So you see him at square one. Actually, you see him from the moment his father has died, and he's got to find out. You know, all he knew was his father, and his father kind of kept him in the dark about his Atlantean roots. He knew, and he always felt like an outcast on the surface. And so he's really got to find his. The story is about his journey to discovering Atlantis, and of course he discovers it right as they're about to invade the surface world. So I mean, spoiler, bad time. So he has to rise to the challenge, and is like, is the hero made, or is he born, or you know? And so it's a lot of stuff happening. So, but the basic plot of this movie is the same as the book. Is there? All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully I gave you something good.